when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They check second to 10. Hey.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Check, cross.
A give to Cook out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave me underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I got him. Check 24.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hey, 59. Hey, 54.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Ready. 53, Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. Dancing to his left. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Pick me up. Here we go.
Out of the gun, Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Inside. 59 mark. Check 59. And let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
On 2nd and a yard, Darnold. And this is Cook with the grab. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, Darnold. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Darnold completes it. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
The 20. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline.
Here we go. Here we go.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Here we go again.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. No problem there on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
All day, baby. All day. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 23. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Texans nothing.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And finding the tight end Hooper. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now Watson. And now he'll tuck it in, and this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Cook. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 23 yards the pickup there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
57. Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Darnold from the red zone now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Darnold. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
To the air again, Darnold. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. from the gun. Here's Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. A first update now from Cincinnati. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Cook following the penalty. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Darnold. He'll dump this off to Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Darnold. The catch made by Miller. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Mike, outside. Check, 55. Mike, I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Houston. Michael Gallup, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans have retaken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And a 5-yard gain gets them to the 42.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. At the 42-yard line.
Man, I got you.
Faking the give, Darnold. He's got Smith here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Switch.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Darnold. Under pressure now. Darnold, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second. And he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Hey, watch the slant. Man, 80.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Darnold to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete on the deep ball. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. A final shot before the break. Watson, and he'll find Hall. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Crunch time, defense. Check. 24.
Watson off play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jerry Tillery picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it.
Rush in. Check three. Ready.
On 3rd down, Elliott. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold, blitz coming, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Third and long, it's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking win calls.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Check safety, check safety. Watch the twist, watch the twist.
A first down carry by Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Mike, 53.
Five. Give me that ball.
From the gun, Daniels. That one taken in by the former Bruin, Jordan Lashley.
That's it, baby.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Hey, I'm coming.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down.
Joker.
Look at me. Zipper.
53's the mic.
Hey, Foxtrot.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw. Daniels. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. That one taken in by Lashley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards the pickup there. This quarterback now 4 or 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
From the gun, Daniels. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Daniels looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Ezekiel Elliott His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Motion, motion, motion. Ready.
Darnold from the gun. Going deep this time for Miller. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 20.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Looking to throw. Daniels. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Go!
Operating from the gun, Daniels. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. So 2 1st downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
Slam, slam, slam. Wide, go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
Matchbox lights.
Again, it's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
From the gun, Daniels. On the crossing route, complete. It's Hall. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It's now 3rd and 8.
The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Daniels. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st down, Dobbins. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Kill.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Check 6 guys. 49, check 49, check 49.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Got it.
Mike 5-4. Check the outs, check the outs. Check. Hatchet.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. On 3rd down, Dobbins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game. Now Ito Smith. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They go back to the ground with Smith. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
You got set. 50 seconds to Mike. You ain't going nowhere.
And they take a knee. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Texans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. And for Charles...
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Yeah. Wind up and it's magic. Yeah. Wind up and it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to back. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You could see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to back. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells.